Hi everyone, welcome to Born to Bloom. My name is Cindy. I am a mystic astrologer, trained and certified by Rising Woman. I am also a rebalancing body worker, but more than anything, I'm just a human being, a fellow journeyer in this beautiful, messy, mystical life. Thank you for being here. This is the first video that I'm recording. Just a few days ago, I had this idea of recording a video to share my experience, my reflections, and insights on Saturn in Pisces transit, which has deeply impacted me. Um, yeah, but in the past few days, I just didn't have any energy or motivation to do this because I was at the depth of the transit itself and feeling this energy of Saturn hanging around the 29 degree of Pisces, where my rising sign is. So I felt this sense of urgency and jittery and also restlessness of like something is coming to an end. I have to let go and something is changing and moving and a lot of yeah recalibration and emotions and purging coming through me in the nervous system internally and externally. But today I was just journaling on the beach by the ocean and definitely felt like a lot had been released and the energy of sharing came back to me. So I am actually recording this video on the last day of Saturn in Pisces at the 29th degree before it moves into Aries tomorrow on the 24th of May. Yes, 2025. And this is not the end because Saturn is coming back to Pisces again in September 2025, and you'll be here until February 2026. Okay, before I go too far, I'd like to invite you to make yourself comfortable and maybe make a cup of tea and just sit back and relax as you are watching this video. Yeah, I know astrology is a lot of information, knowledge, a lot of things absorbed on the mind level, but I would also like you to just not overthink it and not to try too hard to figure things out and just trust yourself, trust your body and your intuition, whatever it needs to be absorbed will come true, whatever um, feels important and bright and aligned for you will arrive and whatever doesn't resonate or doesn't land, feel free to let it go. Yeah. So whether you are new to astrology or very familiar with astrology or you don't believe in astrology, I welcome you here. So you don't have to know a lot about astrology or even believe in astrology in order to feel the transit, because collectively we are all feeling the impact of it, whether we are conscious of it or not. As we can see, like a lot of external shifts are happening around the world and especially this year, 2025, with a few planets moving signs, Saturn being one of them. So, and I'm going to use um, very simple language to explain it as much as I can. So, yeah, I'd like to invite you to just, yeah, feel into it and see what comes through. And my approach to astrology is that I don't believe it is here to tell us what we are supposed to do or who we are meant to be. It is a framework that I use to understand myself more, and I find a lot of self-acceptance, self-appreciation, and self-love through astrology. And It also helps me to understand why certain things are happening in my life and to find acceptance in it. I also see it as an invitation to participate in my own unfolding, to see the potentiality and how I can step into my own power or how I can embrace my essence more and to find more alignment in my life, in my career, and how can I can step more into my purpose. And yeah, to me, it's like a mirror to my inner world, to the world around me. But it's not, I don't use it as a predictive astrology. Don't, I think we all have free will. We all have the power of choosing a different reality at any point of time. Yeah, because we are the co-creator of our reality. And what is a transit? A transit is the current location of the planets in the sky right now and how it interacts with our birth chart. And for example, Saturn in Pisces, for the past 2.5 years, since March 2023 until now. So wherever you have Pisces in your chart, that would be the area of life that would be impacted by the Saturn energy. And if you have any personal planets, for example, your sun, moon, rising, your Mercury, Mars, Venus, and so on in Pisces, and whenever Saturn conjunct it, move through it, you will feel the energy more. And yeah, that's the simplest way I can share it, but it's not only conjunction, there are also other different aspects in astrology. But overall, all of us are Saturn will have an impact on different areas of our life on different degrees, whether we are conscious of it or not. So what is Saturn? Saturn is a planet of maturity. Think of it as a divine father energy. It is here to teach us discipline. It wants us to grow through lessons, through discipline, through commitment, taking responsibilities for ourselves, creating structure, and building a very strong foundation so that we can grow, we can mature in this area of our life. And it takes time in order to build this. So in order to manifest certain outcome in this area of your life. So sometimes a Saturn transit may feel restrictive or limiting or uncomfortable because you may be expecting something to happen quicker um, or you may not want to commit as much or take as much responsibility and yeah and Saturn is just there to teach us that we have to put in our effort and consistency, hard work in order to grow. And and sometimes, yeah, and sometimes Saturn is also named as the Lord of Karma. So it is here to deliver lessons to us to test if we have learned the lesson or not, or if we are really committing ourselves on this or not. And so, yeah, and so it can be quite painful. Sometimes it can be very challenging. And if you're in this, if you're feeling this, or if you are feeling like, oh, I haven't grown because I'm repeating my pattern, or if I have felt in Saturn lessons, don't ever feel that because growth is not linear. Maturity takes time, and yeah, have compassion for yourself, and just trust that we are moving at our own pace. Everything that's happening is just for your highest good, even if it looks very painful and not as what you had expected or had intended. Yeah. Saturn is also a planet of reality. It shows us what is not real, what is weak, what doesn't have a strong foundation will fall through. So yeah, so if something falls apart, it was maybe not meant to be staying in your life. Yeah. And Pisces, in the meantime, is a different energy. Pisces is very flowy, romantic, dreamy, idealistic, poetic. So having Saturn in Pisces is an interesting energy because Saturn wants to build structure, while Pisces wants to flow. So yeah, it's definitely a little uncomfortable. And at the same time, while Saturn has been in Pisces in the past 2.5 years, Neptune, the other planet, was also here for the most of the time. So Neptune is a planet of mysticism, disillusionment, spiritual opportunities. Um, so so as you can imagine, like when Pisces is ruled by Neptune and Jupiter, and so as Neptune has been transiting Pisces, it just makes everything even more, dreamy, mystical, magical, and boundaries just become more blurry and then Saturn comes in like a father energy and be like, hey, where's your discipline? Where's your structure? Where's your foundation? Watch where you're going. And so, yeah, so it's a very interesting dynamic, let's say. I'll now share some of my own experience and reflections on having Saturn in Pisces transit. Pisces is in my first house where I have my rising sign. It is also where my North Node is. So first house is me. It's my body, my appearance, my image, my self-expression, and how I perceive the world and how other people perceive me. And and having my North Node here means that this is also my soul path. This is where I'm supposed to lean towards. I'm supposed to grow into, mature into in this lifetime. And interestingly, other than having Saturn and Neptune in Pisces transit, I also have another very challenging and intense transformative transit with Pluto squaring my sun also in the past 2 years. So all in all, they are just all here, are like nudging me to dissolve my ego, to dissolve my perceived sense of self, my image, and really got me questioning like, who am I really? Like, what am I here to do? Um and I described to some friends recently that the past 2 years just felt very intense and magical, mystical, beautiful, but also very painful, very disorienting. It's almost like I things just keep falling through, and then I just keep trying to build and things are coming together, and then at some point it will all just be falling through again, and then I'll just be left with this like, what just happened? What is real and what is not? Um, it is all quite confusing. However, knowing astrology has helped me a lot to embrace it all and knowing that what's happening has been serving me and my highest good, even though this human self, this mind, is like struggling so hard to like figure out why and what happened and where are we going, what's going on, and I just know that yeah, there is nothing else I could be doing other than just letting go and letting it be. Yeah, just to explain very shortly, um, that yeah, 2 years ago I was just not someone who would be sitting here talking about spirituality or astrology. I was having a corporate job that I didn't like, and I had some psychology and coaching background and trying to find a way to pivot into wellness or psychology or coaching industry. And yeah, I was just trying to move through life in a very rigid, forceful way, and somehow things just didn't feel right. And at some point, I just decided that I had to follow my heart, and then I quit my job. I went to Peru spontaneously and went on a plant medicine retreat, also quite spontaneously. Yet it felt like I was called to that, and everything just shifted very quickly. The way I perceive myself, I perceive reality, and yeah, and then I also yeah became quite hmm, disillusioned in the sense that I was living in this phase of life where I'm like, oh, everything is beautiful, magical, mystical. I'm wearing this rose-tinted glasses, which I already had by nature because I'm Pisces rising. And and then it got me into a relationship that was short, intense, but also toxic, where I felt like I was very restricted in this container where I was not allowed to be me. And then all I wanted was just to be me, and that was everything that I needed and wanted, desired. And yeah, I couldn't be. And at some point, I just heard the loudest cry from my soul that I would rather die than to be here. And I had to just break free from it. And yeah, very intense and challenging. And at the same time, I also found my way, like follow my calling to bodywork training in Spain. And I live in Canada. And I didn't have any goals, any plans, or what I was going to do with the training other than just following my heart and following this mystical call. And yet, when I reflect back, that was the exact thing that I needed then, and it helps me so much to integrate all of my journey and to just really come back to my body, come back to this human life and be grounded and also it helped me to really see and build a very strong sense of self, not from the mind level, not from an image level, but from a felt sense. And what is it like to feel this breath and in my body? And what is it like to feel my legs, to feel the strength of it, to feel how I walk through life, and to how is it like to let go of the armors around my heart? How is it like to let go of the burdens, the expectations on my shoulders? How is it like to stop fighting, but to trust, to let go? Yeah, not just from the mind, but from the being. Yeah, and it's just really what I needed. I yeah, it really strengthened me, who I am, how I move through life, how I perceive the world in so many ways that I could never have imagined before I went there. So following my intuition and heart really served me in that sense, even though there were also many challenges and relationship was the hardest part. And um yeah, just been a very disorienting journey. But I am really grateful. Some of the things that I really thank Saturn for is to really show me who I really am and what kind of spirituality I want to um, grow into, lean into, and what kind of human life that I want to live and what kind of human I want to be. And um, yeah, one thing that I really feel for sure, for certain, is that I want to be here. Like, despite all the pains and that I've been going through, despite the challenging emotions, and that I really want to be here in this body and to walk every step here on the earth and not to just, it's just so easy to dissociate when you are in pain, and it's just so easy to detach and be like, no, this is not what I want to feel. This is not what I want to care. But I truly believe that we are here to feel it all, to be with it all, to make space for it all, and to really embody this human life wholly, wholeheartedly, fully. Mm. Yeah, it is something that I have been really reflecting on, and also um yeah, it also really strengthened my boundaries and how I used to tend to look at others and put other people on the pedestal, like I trust other people over myself, or I just um, see other people as authority, as they are more experienced, they are more intuitive, they are wiser, they are older, yeah, they are just everything that I'm not, and I'm just this little human being. But now that I just see that it is just not true at all, like we are all equal and we all are flawed and we have our own limitations in the way we perceive things because of our lens that we have, our conditionings, our past experiences, and we are all trying our best, doing our best, but yeah, like I just know that I am not in behind anyone, I'm not ahead of anyone, I'm not above or below anyone. We are all walking on this path together, and as much as I can ask for help, support, guidance, as I have my own blind spots and I always appreciate feedback, but I really, really, really am learning to trust myself, trust my own intuition. And that is also something Saturn has been teaching me. I can't say I have perfected this. I'm a human, and but I am really being very conscious of it and also just learning to learning by doing it day by day, moment by moment. Mm. I thank you for witnessing my journey and for being here. I'd like to invite you to also reflect on some of the questions here. What has come to a completion? What are you ready to let go of? What is a pattern or a cycle or something that no longer serves you that you would like to release? How have you grown or matured in this area of your life? What would you like to thank Saturn for? Mm, yeah, so just be very gentle with yourself as you're reflecting on it. I know, yeah, it's not always easy. Um, yeah, so just have compassion and grace for yourself. If this has not been easy for you, you are not alone. Yeah. We are all in this together. Yeah. So I'd like to hear from you if you find this video resonating or helpful, if you have any comment, question, and if you're not sure about where Saturn has been transiting in your chart, feel free to drop a comment with your rising sign. I can then, yeah, just let you know which area of life that it's been in. Yeah. So, yeah, take care of your heart, take care of yourself, and see you next time.